Hello, people. Today we're doing a set I'm calling Flowers in the Wind because we were in the middle of a hefty storm when I was doing these, and that's just what I named them. Anyway, we're starting off with some long coffin tips, and we've got some Model 1s, glitter polish. I'm just going to do one coat of this on 3 of them, and then we're going to switch over to this stuff. Okay, this is an old gel polish. This is one of the first ones I ever bought, which I think I've used maybe twice. So I'm using that because I wanted this particular color. Now, this stuff is a bit on the sheer side, as you can see. Frankly, I could have used it as a jelly polish if I would have remembered it was this sheer. Saved myself some of the jelly polishes I bought. Anyway, we're going to cure those now. Okay, on these purple ones, we're going to go over this with a second coat. And then once I cure these again, there will be a third coat because they were still kind of sheer. So I'm trying to think of some different stuff to do for nail sets because I feel like I'm getting in a rut here with the same kind of stuff all the time. So if anybody out there has anything you want to see me try, let me know in the comments. I'm getting a little burnt out and for lack of, I don't know what else to do. All right, anyway, we're moving on. We're going to put foil glue on just 2 of these right now. I only like to do glue up 2 of them at a time because if it sits too long after it comes out, then it's not going to be as tacky. For some reason, it eventually will not work. So I do 2 at a time. I will cure those for 90 seconds. And when they come out of the lamp, I'm going to let them sit for at least 30 seconds to cool down. You don't want to put your foil on like immediately right out of the lamp. You want to let them cool down a little bit, just so that, because if they're right out of the lamp, they also don't want to be really sticky. There's kind of a window of when they're at their stickiest for the foil glue, so you gotta use them. Okay, this is the foil we're going to use. You can notice in between the flowers, there's like a hollow silver and a little bit of green lines that are kind of shooting out of the flowers. That is what is going to play into the design later on when I'm doing some hand painting stuff. And I'm just going to cut this down into more manageable sized pieces because we're only going to do 3 nails with this. So I want to get these ready to go. Frankly, I didn't really know what to do for this set, so I just opened up my folder, my notebook with all my foils in it, kind of leafed through the pages real quick and stuck my finger down on one, and that's the one I went with. It is a pretty foil. It just seems like it's got a lot of negative space in it, so it really would have looked nicer on bigger, longer nails, I think, but it's not too bad. Okay, now this is out of the lamp. I've let this cool down a bit. Now we're going to go in with the foils. Now be careful putting it on. Don't let it touch there until you've got it right where you want it. Now on this one I screwed up. You're going to see me lift it and move it a little bit. That's a big no-no. You don't want to do that. I think I managed to do it in a way that I saved myself, but as soon as it touches that nail and the foil glue with the foil, the design is going to start pulling off the foil. So if you have to pick it up and move it, you really should be starting over with a new piece of foil because part of your design is going to be off of there. And secondly, you'll have to clean off the nail and re-glue it with foil glue. I did not do that because I barely lost any of my design on there, so I figured I'm just going to go with it. if it was going to be somebody's nails that they were wearing, or, or if it's on my nails or whatever, I would have taken it all off and started over. But as these do not have to be perfect, nobody's going to wear them, so I'll just give it a good rub-a-dub-dub. Pay special attention to rubbing down the side edges. That's where I always tend to have issues with stuff not transferring, is at the side edges. Now, I did figure out that if you put your foil glue on too heavy, it will pull up along those side edges. And then when it's curing, it doesn't fully cure along there. So therefore, when you put your foil down, it's not going to stick on those, that where it's real thick. So what I tend to do is once I get my foil glue on the nails and it's in the lamp, I like to tilt the nails back and forth so the light is getting on the side edges really well and curing that part up. Okay, and once I am happy with, I think I've got it all transferred, we'll take a look and see what happens. Also, I will pick up, if I need something hard to rub it with, I will pick up whatever's close at hand. In this case, if it will be my nail scissors because they're laying right there. Sometimes, as you see right there, I'm using the edge of my fingernail. Sometimes I don't want to press down that hard with my nails on there. Okay, see, that one's missing part of it now. So we're going to lay that back down before we take it all the way off and rub it some more. Don't want to yank these off. I know I say this every time, but I still see people do it. You don't want to yank off your foils like a Band-Aid real quick, because if it doesn't all transfer, then you've got to try and line everything back up. And like in this case, it wouldn't be that difficult because it's not that busy of a design. But if you've got a lot of real fine details on your foil and then you got to line them up, it really is a pain in the butt. So try not to have to do that. Okay, there we go with that one. And we're going to move on to the next one. And I will speed things up. There's a little bit that didn't totally transfer, but I don't think it was big enough of a thing to make me have to redo. So we're going to move on. Now, I'm going to put the glue on the third nail right now and get this one in the lamp. Then I'll start working on the second one. If I were to be doing this on a whole hand, then I would, after like that one, once I get this one done, then I would glue up the next nail so I have a steady flow of stuff coming out to speed things up. Which really isn't super necessary for me, but if you were working in a shop or you're working on clients and you want to get them in and out of there as soon as possible, you want to streamline your stuff and keep it flowing so you're not wasting any time sitting around waiting for things to be cured. At least I would assume. Okay, here's the nail scissors. I'm just gonna rub the side. I usually mainly use them on the side edges because that's where, like I said, I have the worst problem getting stuff to transfer. It's not as bad as it used to be. Okay, that one transferred pretty easily. And we're going to move on to the last one. Now, this is going to be sped up part of the way, and then I'm going to have a problem with it. So I'm going to go back to normal speed towards the end of this one and show you what I do to fix the issue. And what is going to happen is when I transfer this, it's not going to fully, that purple flower there next to my finger is not going to transfer all the way. And I'm going to it's going to get yanked, part of it's going to get off. So I'm going to show you how I fix that situation. Okay, I'm going to take some of my scraps that I haven't thrown out yet and match up the edge of that flower. And now what we're going to need to do is put more foil glue on there. And I'm only going to put it where that flower is, not on the rest of it. I just want it right there sticky. Okay, that's going to cure again, then it's going to cool off again. And then I'm going to stick this down right and line everything up nicely. Eventually, Oh, I decided to cut off part of that orange flower because I was afraid some of it might stick on the side where I didn't want it. So I'm going to clean that off of there first. And then we're going to go in with this purple one. It's like a half a purple flower, and we're going to get that on here. Line it up pretty close, stick it down, and then give it the rub down. And once I'm happy with how much I've rubbed it on there, we'll take it off, see what we got. Oh, I gotta give it a little rub with the scissor. You can also use a coin. I mean, sometimes I use my cuticle pusher. It's like whatever I have laying around there. And there it is, all fixed up. All the petals are on and we're good to go. That's how we fix that problem. Okay, here's where we are so far. Now I'm going to work on the hand painting part. We're going to use this metallic gel paint from Born Pretty. This is the silver one, and I'm using this to tie into those little silver, like spiky things that were shooting out of the flowers. And what I'm just going to try to do some kind of um, rough, like irregular shaped flowers to kind of tie in to the flowers that were in the foils. They don't have to be super neat or precise. When I have foils and I'm doing other accent nails, I try to tie something from the foil into the accent nail. Like I've pulled this purple color to match the purple flowers. And now I'm painting these flowers that are hopefully similar to the ones in the foil design. And we're just making some lines on the petals. And then once I get the other flower on here, I will do those hollow silver lines that were shooting out of the flowers. I will add those on. Okay, not sure what's happening. This part should have been edited out. Quite possible I edited the wrong part of that out. And I've made a little bit of a boo-boo there. I'm going to take some of that off where I went over. And fix that. Okay, now I think we're ready to move on to the lower flower. Okay. Now this one is going to be partly coming off the side. When we get to the second nail with the flowers of these, I'm going to be speeding this up. But for this part, I thought I'd leave it in real time so you could see about how long I'm spending on it. It seemed to me when I did it, they went much quicker than this, but obviously not. We're just trying to get the lines on the petals, on the inside part of the petal. I also just made a bunch of little silver dots with this in the center of the flowers, which I don't know if you're going to see or not. And I guess we are. Doot, doot, doot. All right, just a little. Now I got to make the lines that are going to shoot out from the flower petals. And that's all there is to that. I don't really know what these lines are supposed to be. I mean, some of them were green leaves, but most of them were the hollow silver, just hollow silver lines shooting out the end of the petals. So maybe they just did it as filler. I don't know, but I'm doing it on here. So it ties in with that foil. Not a whole ton of them, just some. Okay, and there we are. That one will be ready to be cured. Now, as I said, I sped this one up. Now, this one also has 3 coats of polish, but it sure doesn't look like it right here, huh? It's pretty transparent still, or see-through. But that's all right. He's good enough. Next week's set, I will have one more random set. And after that, we'll be starting on 2 sets of St. Patrick's, one of which will be my own nails. And I'm going to count that as a monochrome set in green. And after that, there will be a shorty set of purple marble over cat eye. I've actually gotten my sets planned out, several here in a row, because I'm going to be going out to my parents next month, and for St. Patrick's week, and I have to get all my ducks in a row before that and make sure I have a full flow of stuff going while I'm gone. So I had extra time this week, so I was able to bust out the purple marble set already. But you guys won't be seeing those for several weeks yet. But it feels good to be ahead of the game a little bit for a change. I'm usually struggling to keep up. Okay, we're just about done here, I think. Okay, now I'm going to cure those. Those have all been cured. Now we're going in with the final top coat. And I'm using my tempered top coat for this, which I'm getting pretty low on. Which is going to be a bummer when it runs out, because I've really grown to like this tempered top coat over the regular no wipe ones, because this is a hard gel and it seems to keep my nails nicer. It doesn't scratch up. It doesn't get dented up. It doesn't peel off. Once it's on there, it's on there. Till I either take my whole nail off or use my e-file and clean them off that way. Anyway, okay, those are ready to cure. In they go. Well, after I hold them upside down, then they're going to cure. And there we are, all done. It turned out okay. Nothing spectacular, but they're all right. Anyway, if you like them, please give me a like. I really appreciate it. It does help me out. And if you want to see more, hit the subscribe button. And I'm uploading a new tutorial every Saturday. And as I said, next week is going to be another random set. Mostly in blues, I think. Okay, and that's it for now. See you guys next week. Stay warm. Bye-bye.